Hey there folks, Trapesk here, bringing another audio commentary, and today we have an orc versus human. It's going to be Reprisal versus Ack1y from today's Zotac Cup, and it's going to be on Twisted Meadows, which is a pretty fun map all around. This is actually, quickly getting off to the actual analysis, this is actually a really bad starting position here for Reprisal. As you can see, he's already power building this altar, going to be looking to be creeping out this camp very quickly. But unfortunately for him, Ack1y is just here, so close by, and if he does decide to go for the harassment straight off the bat, he will be in a world of trouble because Reprisal can obviously be caught so quickly there. And looks like we do now have the Archmage coming out, and we will be seeing the barracks being placed down now. Obviously that barracks does come a bit later than it normally would because you are power building that altar, but it is worthwhile. And we do have Ack1y going for a standard opening as well. We do see that he doesn't actually, he does, or we'll have to see if he wants to get a second burrow up before attacking. He is going for that Blade Master, so very standard openings here for both players. We can see this Archmage very close, or actually more than halfway done now, so a bit of time, or Rise will have a bit of time to do some creeping before the harassment might come, but we can actually see that Ack1y is not scouting, so he might, Reprisal might get a bit lucky here in terms of Ack1y just goes to do some creeping of his own, and Reprisal is allowed to do his starting creeping in peace, which is really the best case scenario here, because this is such a tricky creep to camp, or camp to creep if you do have Blade Master picking off your peasants as they try and walk back and things like that. And we do now have the Archmage out. The Blade Master most of the way down, we do see only 6 militia actually being brought. That's fewer than normal, but we do see Ack1y has now scouted this out. Normally you see more peons, or more militia being brought in, just because now that there's peons here, that especially Reprisal will definitely be wary of some sort of shenanigans coming in. Actually gonna try and steal off some creeps here, get some last hits, or maybe just do a bit of damage here. He's trying to, but he's not going to be able to. He's actually taking far too much damage on his peon. As we see that the Blade Master now wind walking to get into the battle as soon as possible. I'm not actually sure when he went into that wind walk, but if you go into it too early, you can actually pop out just a second too quickly. But no, he does manage to get off one kill immediately, and he's going to get a second one as well. Fantastic start here for Ack1y, as he's going to be able to take down a third peasant as well, and maybe even get a fourth one. Looks like yes, he will be able to there. Really 100 experience straight off the bat here is so good, especially considering that Reprisal is going to rebuild all of those, going to really delay his tech, and really putting Ack1y in a fantastic starting position now, as he's almost taken no damage as well. We can see actually he has taken no damage at all, but he did lose that one peon, and he did lose, or he has used 2 wind walks now, so certainly a fantastic opening here for Ack1y, but Reprisal still has a lot of things he can do. He did pick up the item, which was a Sobi Mask, which is a pretty damn good item for the Archmage, and you can pass it off to something like a Mountain King second, and that can be very useful as well. And we do not have Ack1y actually going for a very quick War Mill here. It's an interesting decision by him. It's going to give him extra lumber when he hits that tier 2, but it is a big gold cost, which normally you want to be spending that gold on things like boots, which Blade Master does not have at the moment. Blade Master does come in, actually steals that one creep, and now going to get back out of there. And Blade Master has purchased Circle of Nobility as well, which is pretty common these days from this shop, and didn't opt to creep out the Trapper, though obviously much more interested in doing some harassment, trying to keep this Archmage from getting level 3, which is really bad if it can hit level 3, just because those level 2 water elementals are going to be able to tear through grunts and raiders and everything for a long time. And they're really tricky to dispel because they have so many hit points, and you don't want to be wasting the mana from your Spirit Walkers on dispelling individual water elementals. So really important to try and keep this Blade Master, or to try and keep the Archmage level 2 for as long as possible. And we see that's exactly what this Blade Master's opting to do now, having picked up a boot, so he's going to be able to do a lot more harassment there, just constantly getting in the way, constantly stealing creeps, and constantly just causing a distraction here, as we can see he's doing now. Finally the footmen do turn around, and we'll have to see what camp is going to be cracked out now. The Archmage looks like he's going to be going off and around, maybe picking up some of his own boots now, or maybe even a Staff of Teleportation. That is sometimes seen. It looks like it will just be a boot, so you do sometimes see players will try and get a footman in here and staff in there, and then try and pick off burrows just before tier 2 hits, or even as tier 2 hits, and then you can try and pick off bestiaries and spirit lodges and stuff as well. Although that can get a bit more timing balance problems, just because you can find difficulties where if a Shadow Hunter pops out, then all of a sudden you get hexed, and then you lose your Archmage, and then you're just completely lost. We can see some nice pathing blocking here by Reprisal. Good to manage to keep this one footman alive, but he doesn't have a... Ooh, actually no, he doesn't. The Playmaster gets in there at the last second with a Windwalk and gets that kill, so very, very close. And in the meantime, we do have this Archmage has made his way up. He's still level 2, and he's going to try and do a bit of damage here, but without his footman and without a couple Wonder Elementals going at once, he's not going to be able to do the damage he needs. He does distract Ack1y for a little while though, and Ack1y does now actually have a lot of money in the bank, so we will be able to get a second hero started. And, ooh, very, very nice there. Even denies that Water Elemental. In the meantime, this Playmaster's still level 1, but getting pretty close to that level 2 now. And looks like actually Ack1y might well lose the Spirit Lodge here. No bestiary going up at the moment, but we do have a Shadowhunter now on the way. And in the meantime, we do have Reprisal's tech is on the way. It's almost done, but certainly it's significantly behind. And actually, it looks like Ack1y's really being denied the advantage of that earlier tech quite a lot. Looks like he will be getting out of his hero, but maybe this Water Elemental's going to survive for a bit longer. Yes, it looks like it will, but oh, actually doesn't get off the hit there. So really not doing too much more, as this Archmage is going to be forced to get out of there pretty quick now, because that Blademaster is going to be posing a big threat now that he's in here, and has level 2 as well, actually, so he will have Critical Strike. Excuse me. And we will be seeing the footman just moving around a bit, maybe looking to be doing some creeping of a small camp or something, while the Blademaster is known to be distracted, and Ack1y now finally moving down a bit here. Actually, he's not going to be going for the Creep Jack, which would have been quite nice. Oh, maybe no, he is coming back in, and will cause a big threat here to Reprisal, because Ack1y does have 2 Windwalks with this Playmaster, so is able to do a lot of damage here. And bear in mind the Shadowhunter is out, but Reprisal doesn't know where it is. As it happens, it looks like it is creeping here, but if it did come in and get off a Hex, and then a couple more units came in, that could cause trouble, because you would lose a couple footmen, maybe even take a lot of damage on his Archmage, be forced to use his TP or something, just because it can, when you have an Archmage with such low health, with no health boosting items, no armor boosting items, a level 2 Blademaster can do a fair bit of damage. Even though it's only level 2, it does have Critical Strike. It actually looks like the Blademaster is now coming in now, and we don't have the Shadowhunter close enough to get off a Hex, so not too much damage will be able to be done. But oh, Reprisal is being caught in a tremendously bad position here and does get taken down. Oh my god, very, very nice play there by Ack1y, and Ack1y now going to do a lot of damage to the second hero of Reprisal as well, which is very, very nice surround here though. And this Blademaster not enough mana for a Windwalk, and even if he did get some, he could be up in a bit of trouble. But it looks like the Blademaster does go down as well after a very, very nice surround there by Reprisal. And now we actually have both the second heroes in a bit of trouble now, because they are both very, very low hit point heroes, but Reprisal is going to be fine. He has Militia and he has Casters brought in here, and the slow unfortunately not being effective enough, and that Raider is as the speech goal was used by Ack1y. But it would have been very, very nice if that speech goal hadn't been there, because Reprisal could have slowed the Raider, got the surround with the footman, and then got that kill. But second hero here being the Bloodmage is an interesting choice, certainly. Certainly Banish is just so powerful if you use it correctly, and then Mana Siphon can be very, very useful as well, especially against the Blademaster, because you can really lower its mana, stop it from being able to Windwalk out, and then all of a sudden it has to be very, very carefully microed away instead of just getting down to 10 hit points and then being Windwalked. And especially with things like slow, that can just be so, so powerful. And meanwhile, we do have this very, very standard Shadowhunter second hero. It's Shadowhunter second obviously is a bit vulnerable to the Bloodmage, because obviously Mana Siphon is very, very powerful, because a Shadowhunter without mana is pretty much useless. So we'll have to see how this is going to play out now, because we do have Ack1y now almost level 3 now on a Shadowhunter already, and that level 2 healing wave is just so powerful, especially against really low damaging units that which can't really focus too well, especially with your things like Footmen, Sorks, Spellbreakers, which is the entire consistency of Reprisal's army at the moment. And we do now have Reprisal going to be doing a bit of shopping, maybe picking up a Scroll of Healing. In Von Pot could be quite useful as well. Actually, it looks like he has picked up actually no, he picked up both Scroll of Healing and In Von Pot on the Archmage. Bear in mind, he sort of has an In Von Pot in terms of he can banish his own heroes, assuming he has gone banished, but he almost certainly will have, because it's just such a powerful skill. And we do now have the Blademaster back out as well for Ack1y, although the Shadowhunter is already level 3, so some very, very nice creeping, and we do have this fast Coda Beast because of that very, very early War Mill for Ack1y. So really a decent play here by him, as both players do now have pretty good hero levels, but Reprisal approaching 3-3 will be able to get it off this camp, and we will have 3-3 I assume pretty soon. Yeah, Blademaster about to hit level 3 as well, so it's all pretty even at the moment, and looks like he will be getting his level 3 there as well. It has picked up a potion of greater healing as well, which is going to be very nice against that mana siphon, because it will give him a lot more durability. The Blood Mage picked up potion of greater mana, which is certainly useful with that banish, just because he will be able to cast so many banishes if he likes, but he has such good mana regeneration and the ability to steal mana, so having a potion of greater mana not really as useful as it would be on another hero perhaps, but certainly both of Reprisal's heroes are both very or have huge pots of mana anyways, or huge bases of mana anyways. So Blademaster now coming in here, going to get one creep steal immediately off the bat, and it looks like he won't be able to get anything else here, and doesn't want to reveal himself for any longer than he has to. We do have a pendant of mana being picked up, so much mana, 700 mana already on this Blood Mage. It's only level 3. Oh wow, that is just crazy. Just going to be so many banish possibilities here, especially with all the regeneration capabilities as well. But Blademaster now looking to do a bit more creep stealing perhaps here. He does only have enough mana for one more Windwalk, so he will have to be very careful with what he steals here. Looks like he's going to be going for the Rock Golem there. Good choice, but we'll have to see. We can see Reprisal actually immediately now getting his Archmage right next to it, and actually using a reveal there as well to chase away that Blademaster. Very smart choice here, and we can see because the Archmage was placed right next to the Rock Golem, he did manage to pick up the items immediately, and we do have a big creep jack coming in here. Immediately one Sork being taken down, but the TP being used there by Reprisal, who does manage to get away, and 3-3 for Ack1y's heroes, as he will be looking to maybe take another fight. He has actually bought a Scroll of Town Portal here, which is interesting because he sold his original one not too long ago. Makes me wonder if it would have been better for him to have just kept it, really, because normally you don't rebuy them as an orc too soon. You do, and you're just more careful with what fights you take. But it's interesting that Reprisal, or that Ack1y has chosen to buy that back so quickly, and we do have the Archmage now doing some creeping of his own. I'm not sure what item he picked up, but by the looks of it, he sold it immediately, the item from this camp, that is. And look at this, we do have Ack1y trying to take a sneaky expansion here in a place he doubts that a Reprisal will be scouting, as he's now coming in to put in some pressure. Reprisal did rebuy his TP, so he will be able to TP in, and he TPs in a good position, and unfortunately it's not forward enough to be able to get us any slows there off on Ack1y, and a Reprisal now almost 4-4 on his heroes. And I'm not sure what item he picked up from this camp actually. It looks like no item, or he might have sold it immediately. It's a bit weird there, but we do now have Ack1y now going to be going in for some more creeping, going to be able to take down this camp very handily, and just going to get him very close to level 4 in a Shadow Hunter. At least it would if that Blademaster were to go away. Blademaster, very nice items, you'll notice. +6 agility on the Blademaster, just from one item, giving him +20 damage overall, as well as a greater healing potion. Just really fantastic items there. Obviously for the +20 he does need to be near that Kodo, but it's pretty likely in all the big battles he will be, as he actually now scouts out where Reprisal is. He scouts out the army. It's pretty diffuse as well. It looks like he's actually going to be going for some sort of base race. That would certainly make sense considering that he has taken an expansion here, because obviously if you do have a sneaky expansion, it's great to be in a base race because your opponent really doesn't know what cards you're holding, as we do see both players now moving in. Reprisal has bought another TP, so he will be able to TP back if he needs to. Ack1y's going to lose that tower immediately. I'm not sure how useful that tower really is. It's good against things like tower rushes, but it was up too late for something like that anyway, so I'm not sure precisely how important that really was, as we are going to be seeing a pretty big base race here. Ack1y actually going to lose his Kodo Beast by the looks of things, though he does eat one breaker, and going to try and hide in the back for as long as possible, maybe until Reprisal feels like he needs to TP, and actually he is going to TP, so that Kodo Beast is going to live. Really interesting choice there by him, as we do see the trade of TP is now going off, as this keep does survive, but one of the Arcane Sanctum did go down, but the shop did survive, so another TP can be bought quite quickly. And Reprisal really should be looking to expand, I would think, at this point. Just he knows that he's not in the best of positions because of the hero levels being pretty scary against him, as well as the items on that Blademaster being pretty scary as well. And actually now finishing this creep camp, or finishing this expansion, but now sending the peons away. Actually, I wonder if he was scouted out or something. I'm not sure exactly why he's doing that there, but the Blademaster now keeping tabs certainly on Reprisal, so certainly those peons could continue mining for a little while at least. I wonder if that's a mistake there by actually doing or accidentally sending it, as we actually have one invisible footman now. Good to run around, good to maybe do a bit of scouting out. Probably gonna go up here first, because that's the obvious place for there to be a creep camp, or for there to be an expansion. Yeah, these peons now just being sent back, so a bit of a mistake there by actually losing a bit of mining time. But time is certainly on Ack1y's side now. He just needs to stall for as long as possible, and he will probably be alright. Actually, we see this one water elemental creeping up this camp. I wonder if that's a sign that we're going to be seeing that expansion being taken eventually. But certainly this expansion is a bit better normally if it is already crept out, which it obviously is not. So maybe that's going to be Reprisal's plan, going for an expansion, or maybe he's just going to be trying to go for a push now, try and do something that's actually game ending. We do have this one Kotobi still revealing the entire army of Ack1y, because it does have that Spellbreaker inside it, as we actually see Reprisal now moving into a battle, but his army is very, very diffuse, very, very sort of staggered, snaking in here. It'll take a long time for his entire army to get into the battles. We see this Kotobi immediately eats and Breaker there, and we do now have Hex going off on the Blood Mage as well, and we do have Speech Gold being used now by Ack1y, as we see a lot of damage being done, but we see more banishes going off. We actually banishes being dispelled there on that Blade Master, who's approaching level 4 now, and a Mana Siphon going off, but immediately the Shadow Hunter running away. Very, very smart choice there. You do need to conserve that mana as much as possible. The Shadow Hunter is very, very low on mana as it is. So many banishes being used on this Blade Master though, and Mana Siphon being used as well. No mana left now on this Blade Master, but certainly in battle itself, the mana is not too important on that Blade Master now. Just because he's not too worried about losing that, because he has such fantastic items anyways. And it looks like we will be having a lot of damage being taken now on the Blood Mage. Blood Mage is forced to micro back now, and actually the Shadow Hunter running a bit too far back while running away from one Mana Siphon there. And it looks like we do a huge number of units, very, very low health here for Reprisal. He could really use a healing scroll right about now, and he doesn't have any left. So Mana Siphon actually yet again going off, but now on the Spirit Walker, which is now out of mana as well. So many banishes being used on this Blade Master. It's barely gotten any hits in all fight, as we now see Militia being brought in, but almost immediately going back into peasant form. And bear in mind this whole time, Ack1y's doubling basically the income of Reprisal. So really, even though this battle is going all right here for Reprisal, the rebuilding might go okay for Ack1y if he can stall for time, somehow get out of the battle once it starts really going badly against him. But look at this Blade Master. He's at full health, but he's basically done no damage. Getting banished yet again here. So little damage being done by him all battle long now, as Reprisal is going to be forced to micro back, actually TPing home. I think this is a fantastic choice here for Reprisal. He's done a fair bit of damage, and he has a lot of really low units, and in his mind at least, that's a very, very good option. As we see actually now, there's one footman that scouted out this expansion as well, so Reprisal may be going to go immediately to attack that, at least once he's healed up with the salve. And looks like he is going to be going, that Arcane Scroll is in effect, and he is going to be, actually no, let's see, he isn't going directly for the attack there on this expansion, which is a weird choice, because this tower is about to be up. It's about to be a lot harder to do any sort of attacking there, because obviously there is a threat now that actually could be TPing, and he doesn't have the money to do that. And oh wow, look at that, very, very nice around here on the Blade Master there. Really, really, I'm not really sure how he could have gotten that. Obviously, no mana on that Blade Master from all the Mana Siphons, but still, very, very impressive that Reprisal did manage to get that, as we do see a Speed Gold being used and now actually banished yet again, going off on this Blade Master. Really, really strong use of that, and bear in mind this Blade Mage, 750 maximum mana, so really so many banishes can be cast there, as this Blade Master just constantly out of the battle, as we see actually one of these very, very low Sorks does eventually get taken down here, and a bunch of spell seals being used to get the Spirit Link on for Reprisal. So very, very nice play here as he brings in his Militia yet again, and this time they're a lot closer to his base, so he can do a lot more damage now. And the Breakers forming a really strong front line, and they are going to be able to take down one Grunt, and it's going to go after another one. Probably not going to be able to get it there, just because Reprisal has now lost his Militia, and his Blade Master is yet again being banished. Every time he tries to get in the fight, he gets banished, and then he loses all his mana, so he can't even try and wind walk or anything like that. Really, really nice play here by Reprisal, but just bear in mind it's two bases versus one in terms of income. Really, really tricky for Ack1y, or for Reprisal to continue fighting against Ack1y here, as we see another Mana Siphon going off that level 5 Shadow Hunter, pretty much neutered with no mana left, and Ack1y finally being able to go a bit more on the defensive here, as Reprisal is going to be forced into a bit of a corner now, yet again going for that banish, but the banish is now dispelled. The Blade Master still no mana on him, and Tome of Retraining now being bought, so we will be seeing some Blizzard, which against slowed Grunts and slowed Raiders can be very, very effective. One Ensnare goes off now on this Breaker, as we see that Blizzard going off and immediately taking down one unit. Going to go for another Grunt as well, but unfortunately he's now running out of the radius now, so not much more Reprisal can do, as Reprisal now just going to try and go for a bit more pushing as the slow has finally hit enough units, and we do have Ack1y being forced to TP away with his level 5 Shadow Hunter, and level 4 Blade Master does manage to get away there. So a nice escape there by him. But really, that battle went so well for Reprisal. Even though he did lose a couple units and Kodos, things like that. Just the fact that he's being able to survive one base versus two for so long is just really impressive. And he has managed to use Banish just so powerfully, because he just has so much mana here on this Blood Mage, almost level 5 on this Blood Mage, and that level 3 Banish is just crazy powerful. Hopefully we will get to see it. There's that level 5 now, and the Watchtower will be taken down. We see Ack1y actually at 53 food, so now he's actually in a really bad position, just because he's only mining off one base, and he actually is probably going to be mining off 0 pretty soon. Yeah, only 30 seconds left on that base. So considering he is very slightly over 50 food and about to run out of base mining, meanwhile Reprisal at 50 food, so he is in a bit of a better position. Actually has a tiny bit more money left in the mine as well, and looks like actually one breaker could be left here to ensure that no mining goes on. Probably not able to take down that Great Hall for a very long time. And we do have actually, do we have level 5? The Archmage is pretty close. No, the Archmage, yeah, hasn't quite hit level 5 yet, and that level 3 Blizzard, another very powerful skill, and one that Reprisal will be looking to get as soon as possible in this battle. But it looks like Militia now being caught. Needs to be careful not to catch any of the Militia in the Blizzard, but the Hex immediately goes off here, as we now see level 5 on this Blade Master, who's yet again banished, and another Blizzard goes off now. Obviously Blizzard very low mana cost, and a very low cooldown, so really nice combination of skills here for Reprisal in terms of being able to just spam them constantly, and a constant Blizzards going off, constant banishes going off, and Reprisal now looking like he's under a bit of trouble from the units, just because the grunts are just pretty good against the spellbreakers, even once they're slowed. There's a couple of dispels for Ack1y, which he has been able to use, and yet again Banish going off, and yet again Hex going off on the main heroes for both players, as we do see the Blade Master still, he's been at full health basically all game long, just because there's no point in focusing down a hero that can't do any damage, and just this Blade Master been absolutely useless all game long, and we can see it's so important because he did have plus 17 damage at the moment, and actually now the Blood Mage taking a bit of damage from the Blizzard, and getting ensnared now, and actually banishing himself so that he doesn't take any more damage for a little while longer, as this Blade Master uses an Invuln Plot to give him a little bit of time against that banish. But we're going to have to see how many more banishes can actually go off now. Reprisal does have a tiny bit more mana left. Actually has enough for one more banish after this, and actually the Blizzard going off on the banished Blade Master doing bonus damage there. Really nice combination there, as Reprisal does manage to keep a couple peons alive, but Ack1y managed to keep a lot of low units alive, including that low Berserker, which is just to be so nice to be able to heal up very quickly, and then bring back into the battle to try and focus down swords and things like that, which obviously take a bunch of bonus damage from it, and the Kodois can be able to run away. Actually doesn't have a unit in it, and unfortunately now it looks like that Kodois is good to go down, so actually he might just about be able to get away here. Obviously not too much for defense for Ack1y here, so really not too much base defense potential, with the normally obviously burrows and towers possibly, and peons to get in the way and things like that, but obviously at this late point in the game there aren't any of those things, and we do now have this mine's now been left alone, going to be going up and running, but we're probably going to be going for some long distance mining here, just going to start by the looks of things. I could have given them a little bit of extra income, though it might be better just to have those peons in the army, or those peasants in the army in militia form briefly, and then try and do something with them, because they're just going to mine such a small amount of money. It's unlikely to actually make a difference, especially if you consider the items that Reprisal has. He can just sell any of them. Actually, really impressive. He hasn't even used that potion of greater mana from the very start of the game, which has just been, despite his spamming of banish all game long, just he gets so much mana from Mana Siphon, and Mana Siphon only costs 10 mana, so it's really nice to be able to just spam out there, and it almost always pays for itself very quickly, even if you don't consider the fact that it steals mana from a hero, from an enemy hero. And Ack1y now, he does have one peon mining here, but it's just not going to be much. It's going to be more than the Reprisal's mining, but just it's such small incomes for both players now, as we see actually the casters being separated from the heroes by Reprisal there, but that does actually mean the he's going to be able to catch this Kotobi out of position. Kotobi now being slowed as well, but Dispel going off, but now the Spirit Walker actually that was dispelling that does get slowed himself, but obviously slow will wear off pretty quickly, as we actually see a Mana Siphon going off and Ethereal Form being used on that Spirit Walker, so they can't be taken down by anything other than the casters and the Blizzard. And the Blade Master now on the run yet again, still at full health, and still with that greater healing potion from the very start as well. So both players really being able to keep their heroes in good conditions without having to use those fantastic items they picked up early on in the game, as finally this Kotobi is going to go down, and we do now have the Blade Master picking up a Scroll of Healing, which is again a pretty useful item. But in this point, really, I think invuln pots are more important, just because, actually, then we do not have the slow, and a very, very nice round there by Reprisal, as he does manage to get the maybe the kill here. There is a healing potion as well as that Scroll of Healing, and then obviously healing waves from the Shadow Hunter as well, assuming he doesn't get Mana Siphon, but he does get Mana Siphon there, but it looks like it's not going to even matter. The Blade Master did use this potion of healing, but not the Scroll of Healing. He might have to use it now, though, as he does run away. The spell being used as well as that Scroll of Healing, and it looks like the Blade Master will just about be able to get away, though. Very, very close play here by both players, as we do now see the Spirit Walkers using Ethereal Form, but Blizzard immediately being used, and that is going to be enough to take down that one Spirit Walker there, and we do now have to use the breakers, which obviously don't take damage from the Blizzard, just being very, very useful at getting in the way of those Ethereal Form Spirit Walkers, as well as Reprisal is only mining, I think, with those 3 peasants, so really, really low income. Reprisal does have 130 gold in the bank, so can't really do much with that, as actually we're just seeing Blizzard being used because it's slightly faster and so much mana there for that Archmage, as looks like this Blood Mage is going to try and be getting level 6, and with almost 800 maximum mana, that's just going to mean that things like Phoenix are just going to be so annoying here for Ack1y, especially considering that Phoenix will be able to take down all these burrows very, very handily. Actually, we do have one more Raider being produced now, just from that small bit of extra income we managed to get from that expansion, and I'm really surprised that Reprisal left that expansion to be to get back mining when he could have just left just a couple units there, but even just something like that one breaker that he did leave there for a small period of time, and then just stop the mining, because really that's doing a lot more damage than that one breaker could have ever done in one of those intermediate battles. And Ack1y now, he is going to be doing a bit of creeping. Mostly, obviously, it's all for the items and the gold, but a very, very small amount of gold now. Probably just going to be for the items, really, at this point, because really getting his Shadow Hunter to a good item combination is very, very important at this point. And does get that Sobi Mask, which is going to help a fair bit, though. Bear in mind, most of his mana seems to be just siphoned away by the Blood Mage, and in the meantime we do have Reprisal now going to be creeping out as well. Bear in mind, Reprisal doesn't have really any good tanks here. He has the breakers, and he can heal them up a bit. He does have 2 priests, but he does need to be careful, especially in these really high DPS camps, because if he does get creep jacked here, it can cause a bit of trouble. Actually, blizzarding his own Blood Mage a bit as well, but he has picked up a Staff of Silence, and he does get creep jacked here, though, so really actually pretty bad position here for Ack1y, as he lets a lot of these units be hit by the Blizzard, and while they're being slowed. And actually we do now have these High Priests in the back doing extra damage now, so we do have Speech Gold being used by Ack1y to try and negate that slow, as actually have one Bloodlusted Sork going to try and run for it now, but does get ensnared, and actually Invisibility going to be used presumably on it. Actually no, Banish just being used to keep it alive for now at least, and we do have Blizzard going down, doing a lot of damage, but eventually it loses focus on the unit, so it's immediately recast there. Obviously very, very nice to have the cooldown much shorter than the entire duration of it. Actually Blizzard actually killing one of Reprisal's own priests here, as we do have a Dispel being used to try and keep this Blade Master alive, who is very, very low on health, but that Staff of Silence going to be very, very useful now, because it is going to be able to silence any early hexes, any early healing waves from that Shadow Hunter before all his mana can be stolen, and maybe even to get rid of Dispel for a short period of time as well, can be very, very useful, just to try and allow the slows to last for longer, things like that. Actually, the Spirit Walker being allowed to live, whereas I think a good Blizzard could have definitely killed it, and the Archmage is already back to maximum mana because he is level 5, obviously. So interesting choice there, but I think now Reprisal really, really looking to be in a good position. Even these small Blizzards do a huge amount of damage and cost basically nothing now for Reprisal, just so powerful. And I'm not sure, I think Ack1y, I'm not sure, I'd like to see him win in some sort of base race situation, but the problem is just that there are 2 Sorks left, and that's just too much slowing power, and there obviously isn't a good way to get away from those slows. As we do see in snare now going off, this is perhaps the only actual way he could win this game, is if he can manage to kill this Archmage, but a banish going off now on this Archmage. Archmage obviously has no other items to save it, it's just the banishes at this point, as we now have a surround attempt here by Ack1y, but he does actually give it up as the Shadowhunter's taking a lot of damage. Shadowhunter does go down. Both Reprisal's heroes now hit level 6, as we do have Banish being used on this Archmage to keep him alive, but the Phoenix has now come out, going to be able to do huge damage to all the Raiders, and there's the GG from Ack1y, as he realizes that he just doesn't have the firepower to take down those heroes anymore. But what amazing uses of the Banish there by Reprisal, and Ack1y making a couple mistakes, but really microing pretty well overall, getting surrounded actually a couple times. One time I didn't even see how it happened, but certainly with the slowing effects of Banish, you can sort of manage how that would happen, though certainly I think it would require Ack1y to have again made a small mistake there. But really enjoyable game all around. I hope you enjoyed that game, folks, and I'll try and bring you some more games in the near future. Thanks.